Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Thought I would start making videos on the rumored WrestleMania 34 card that's going to be going down in New Orleans. I think we're about 67, 66 days away from WrestleMania. And we already basically knew the big two matches that would be going down. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns is what we've been talking about for months. And then also Nakamura going up against AJ Styles is something that we finally got figured out at the Royal Rumble, but it was something that I think a lot of people already saw coming. When I got to see the rumored card the other day on the sheets, the first match that I went looking for with this was to see where Finn Balor was going to sit. Of course, last year would have been Finn Balor's first WrestleMania, but of course he got injured at SummerSlam while winning the WWE Universal Championship by defeating Seth Rollins. We all saw the WWE 24 where he trained and rehabbed his butt, basically trying to get back to the main roster to be a part of WrestleMania, and he was not able to get cleared in time. I think that honestly, by the time that he got healthy, it just wouldn't have made sense to bring him back for WrestleMania and not have a place for him to properly be on the card. It wasn't like we wanted to see Finn Balor make his return in the the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Finn is a special talent. I think he's honestly going to be a big deal. Him winning the Universal Championship at that SummerSlam, you could easily tell that that company knows that he is going to be one of the main future players. That last year, since coming back from that rehab, I don't know. I don't know if he's got that sort of mystique put on him, where basically WWE thinks he's injury prone. We've heard that in the past about certain guys, where they don't want to give them the major push because they don't want to put the title on him again and him get injured. I think that honestly, his injury was a freak injury. I'm not going to start up that whole debate, whether if it was Seth Rollins' fault and if Seth Rollins is a dirty worker or he's not safe. I think that Seth honestly is one of the best guys there is in the business. Finn, to me, is going to be something really, really cool. I want to see him get that major push. I don't think WWE wants to put him in a place where they just put the championship on him and just say, let's go. But if you go back to Raw 25, when you have, the Clique meeting the Balor Club, and Triple H, taking Finn and, putting him right in front of the hard camera and basically giving him the point of, like, this is the guy. I think that's telling you that, maybe Vince isn't right there, but Hunter is knowing that this is the guy if he ever gets, that full control anytime sooner than later. The matchup right now is Finn Balor versus The Miz. And my first thing was, I sort of groaned. I mean, I really like The Miz. I've been one of his supporters, and I think that honestly, if I get around to looking over that full card, The Miz is a guy that I think I would stick up for, basically having a better match. He's a guy that last year had the tag match against John Cena, which was honestly the best place to put him. I think even though we all knew that he was going to be taking the fall in that match, but anytime you get to have a matchup with John Cena, especially on the a floor of like WrestleMania, it's going to help you. It didn't help that, honestly, John and Nikki weren't around after WrestleMania to sort of continue that program. But, I mean, it's a better spot to be than where Miz has been the last few years in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or, fighting for the Intercontinental title on the WrestleMania pre-show. Because, honestly, if you go back in time, that's where Miz has been ever since main eventing WrestleMania against John Cena at WrestleMania 27. WrestleMania 28, he had that, tag match, and he did get the rub by being the guy who got the victory for People Power, John Laurinaitis' team beating Teddy Long's. But, in the end, John Laurinaitis promised him that he would, I can't remember what the wording was, but, The Miz was supposed to get some sort of a a rub out of it. He was supposed to get some sort of big deal down the line, and we're still waiting for that, and it never happened. But, you know, WrestleMania 29, he was fighting against Wade Barrett in the pre-show for the Intercontinental title, where I think he won it. WrestleMania 30, he'd be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. 31, he was in that tag match with Mizdow, so he would have been he would have been that tag team with Mizdow. So I think that's where Mizdow turned on him in the Battle Royal as well. 32, I don't know what he did, so he had to been in that thing as well. So I mean, it gets him out of that lull. Having a match against Finn Balor gives you a spot, just like AJ Styles said before he went out on that WWE 24. He apologized to everybody in the back, but he said he was about to go out there and steal the show. And you know, it's debatable what people thought against AJ versus Shane. But I think that, you know, The Miz is a guy who can get himself fired up. He knows that he can go out there and he can deliver a promo on Monday Night Raw that's going to make people listen and is going to say some quotable things that people are going to be talking about for a couple of days after he says them. Finn Balor is a guy that, you know, might not deliver the best promo in the world, but Finn Balor is the guy that's going to let his wrestling do the talking for him. And I think that Finn can elevate The Miz. I'm not going to say elevate him, because it's not like The Miz has bad matches. I think right now we're at the point where a lot of people, you know, like The Miz. But, you know, Finn's a guy that's going to go out there, and I think he's going to have a really good match no matter where you put him on the card. Whether this is the opener, whether this is somewhere, you know, in a filler slot. They're not going to let themselves be filler. You know, they're not going to be the main event. They're not going to close the show. But definitely they want people to know that they are the future. And when you're drawing up your future WrestleMania 35 cards, you better be putting these guys in better spots than they're in right now. Let's say if this is for the Intercontinental Championship, this does not hurt Finn to win the Intercontinental title. I bet you that if you asked Finn, he's like a lot of guys out there, like Kevin Owens on the Kevin Owens story, when he talked about winning the Intercontinental title, that, you know, when he was a kid and he was growing up watching guys like Mr. Perfect, Texas Tornado, like I was, they looked at the Intercontinental title like it was a worker's title, and it took a lot of prestige to win that belt. Finn winning the Intercontinental title, I think, is going to be a lot better than when I've been talking about a guy like Roman Reigns holding that title. I would look forward to that title reign. I think that it would be cool to see him, you know, have matches to the Intercontinental title on Monday Night Raw, week in and week out. Because I remember, like, when Finn was wrestling on NXT, even when he was wrestling in matches that would be considered, I guess you can say, jobber matches that only showed his enhanced talents at the time, that felt like it was really, really special. And, you know, I think it would be cool to see that. Sort of like when John Cena was doing the United States Open Challenge at that time. So, you know, I'm ready to cheers Finn Balor versus The Miz. We can all hope that Finn gets this win. And what we have to keep in the back of our mind is that this is Finn Balor's first WrestleMania. And he's going to go out there and he's going to blow it up. Because this is something that, honestly, he's been waiting for a long time.